Hello people, this is Power here with a review of the Power Rangers Beast Morphers, the 6-inch figures. I don't know what you call these, because I don't think they're basic figures, because they're definitely not basic. But basically this is just our typical figure line for the series. So obviously they're in these beautiful packaging. These were the first toys I got from the series. And I got them from Walmart. They're like $9.84 each, so this is like $49.20 in total. Yeah, but so let's go through each individual one first. So here's the Red Ranger. Art's pretty neat. This is the same art that's on the side of the Beast X Morpher. So obviously it comes with his actual Morphex key. And then the back just has the basic stuff. This is also a sticker also, which was first discovered in Canada. But I really like the fact with the main three, they actually have like pictures of them. I'm just gonna say, just to show the fact that they're a team. And I really like this like simple lineup kind of thing. But then again, it's like some people might just not notice it. so that's it for red. Here's blue. I don't like the poses. I don't like the official poses. They're kind of dumb, to be honest. Here's yellow. Yeah, when I got her, I actually had to push her key in because it was coming out, which is weird. I should probably show the art too, but all the art has them with the Beast X Saber. Cybervillain Blaze. He's pretty interesting, I might say. But like these two I had to excuse because of later, but here's Tronic. Now if you didn't watch my whole haul unboxing slash update video, I stated that this is my first villain figure, which is kind of sad because I originally did want Darkwing from the 2-pack, but then I realized that the Silver Ranger did not come with a Titano Charge Morpher, so I didn't pick it up. But oh yeah, I should probably show this too. But I really like this. Like, this is just really cool. The side doesn't have anything whatsoever, and also the side includes Morphex key, and then they actually have a warning, which I don't know it was that prominent on the Bandai toys, but yeah, that's basically it. So I'll open these up and look at them individually. So here we have the figures out of their packaging, and honestly that was a pain. If you want to know how that was experienced, I might put something up in the corner because I don't do that normally just because of time. Anyways, just watch the unboxing. So let's move everyone else off to the side. What I mean by side, just literally push them off to this little corner where you can't see them at. Let's take a look at Beast Morphers Red, or Devon. And I'll say that overall the figures are pretty decent. It's just that with me, they're kind of odd in proportions. I just feel like the colors are off a bit because I understand that they're trying to replicate the leather feel, which I think they do a good job at. I especially like this technically mini skirt piece that the male Rangers have. Like, that's pretty nice, but overall, I just feel like the colors are a bit off, especially with the visor. But overall, most of the paint details are there. Yes, there's some QC issues, such as scratch mark there. I'm pretty sure that's kind of expected for like Wave 1 stuff, but obviously the only things I'll say that are technically not painted are the transpod, or it's just the transpod honestly, on the figure, because, you know, the back is like the castle or whatever it's called. The harness is painted throughout, and even the Beast X Morpher is painted with its necessary paint if it actually focuses. Don't focus on my dried hands. Focus on the Morpher. Maybe. I'm losing focus. Yeah, like that. Like, that's just really cool. They even got the blue, so yeah, I really like that. Again, the head and such. The silver here is pretty nice. But then I think I did saw something that this wasn't silver at all, but I'm not sure. I think it was the figure art, but anyways, let's get to articulation. So the head, it's on a ball joint, so it can bob up and down, go left or right, and obviously 360 as I already showed. And then the neck for mine, it's kind of weird. It's like not painted fully, or I already lost like paint. Kind of weird, but oh well. Arm articulation, he can spread his arms like that. It's on a ratchet like the Ninja Steel figures. It's just that I guess it's not as noticeable, or it is noticeable, but it's not like clicky, like the sound. Like I think it feels a bit sturdier, honestly. He can rotate that. He has an elbow swivel and a bend, but no wrists. He can kick forward. He can't kick back. He can kick to the side. He can bend his knee and swivel it. That's basically the articulation you get out of this. Whoops. I'll say it's basically the same. It's just that, yeah, it does kind of suck. There's no hand swivel or wrist swivel anymore. But other than that, like, the articulation is pretty solid. It's not badly loose or anything. Like, all the joints are kind of tight. But yeah, he's a pretty decent size. So if he wants to stand up, his accessories include the Beast X Saber. As you can see, it's actually painted pretty well. And there's 2 hollow points because of just plastic, I guess. So not really sure how this works, but like I think these hands are specifically molded to hold one weapon. So like, while you can put the Beast X Saber here, it's just not really meant for that. So which is why you just put the saber here. Then like obviously because of the fact you don't have a wrist swivel anymore, the way they hold the weapons is kind of odd. And then his next weapon accessory is the Cheetah Beast Blaster. It's just mostly red with black paint, but it's pretty neat. Obviously it doesn't come, obviously if there's no like helmet accessory to add on the visor, I'm pretty sure that will come in with his lightning figure. But the Cheetah Beast Blaster just slots into here. It's kind of gummy, these parts are, which I guess is good when you want to like have him hold it, or like when you want to slot it in pretty easily. And then last but not least, he comes with his Morphex key. I don't know the names of each specific one, but this is just his. Obviously it's based off of a cheetah, and when you rotate the key out, here's his track, and to compare it with the Morphex, or the triple Morphex key, just trying to focus on them. As you can tell, they're the same track. It's just this one's has sparkles and such. So you get the same sound, but you actually get like his like outer portion of the key. So that's pretty cool. And obviously one thing you can do with these is that you can put the Morph X keys on the figures, which I honestly haven't done yet. So let's do that right now. So what you do is just clip them into the wrist here, and voila, you got the Morph X key blade. I don't think you can bend, or you can bend it and such. You can do like stuff like that, which yeah, looks pretty cool, but I honestly feel like they only did this because of the fact they needed a reason why the Morph X keys with this. And this is without the blade or the key. Yeah, I guess you can just slide it out because it's actually kind of goes on the figure really solidly, and if you try pulling it out, that's going to be tough, so sliding it down actually works. Number 3. Huh. Does this have a number? 2? Wait, I'm actually... Uh-huh. I think I actually found something. Okay, I'm actually up to something now. Sorry for that. So... As I stated before, if I actually do put out my video on the Morph X keys, I thought there was no numbering system, but there actually is a numbering system. So this one's key number 3, which is pretty interesting how that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I'm sorry, but there's a numbering system to the keys, so that's pretty cool. So I'm really sorry about that. So moving on, we will put Devin to the side here. So he will be doing his Cheetah Beast Blaster Blast, or Cheetah Blast, and then do a Sword Strike because consistency. So goodbye, Devin. Please go. Okay. So here we have Robbie next, the Blue Ranger. Beast Morphers blue. I don't. He's basically the same as Red. It's just he's blue and he has a new head, which I think looks pretty neat. The thing I actually do like with most of these Rangers is that they actually look like necks, or they actually look like they have necks. That's my only complaint with Red. Like, he doesn't look like he has a neck, so I find that weird. Obviously, I already have the Beast X Saber on his hand because of the fact all the Rangers come with it, so it's not really any point on, like, covering it again constantly. But, again, he has the same points of articulation. He has the same miniskirt thing, too. I forgot to point out that you can tell they're different shades. Obviously, with the red, it's more noticeable. But they're just, like, most of the time they're lighter, but blue I'm fine with. And obviously, Ravi comes with the Beast X Cannon, which is the combination between the Saber and Blaster. There's only paint on the Saber portion, so obviously this will cause a continuity error, but I want him to hold both accessories, so he will just have to do something like that. And then he comes with his Morph X key, which is obviously based off of Gorilla. And I really like how these endpoints are supposed to like the mouths or something. And his is actually a different shade, which is pretty cool. So here's his track. And he is number 8. Again, you can put the Morph X key on his forearm. So something like that. So there you go, Robbie. Flip the Morphex key for consistency. Next we have Zoe. Beast Morphers yellow, and obviously I would say it's a huge improvement out of how Bandai America did their female figures. I would have done figure comparisons, but they're even though the boxes are right behind me, I don't feel like digging for them. Obviously she comes with the Beast X Saber, but overall, like, I think they did a nice job with her. Obviously hers is a rabbit. If I had to be honest, I think it took me like years after to real made me realize that the Go Busters were actually based off of animals. So, but that's just something. I think her proportions are kind of still odd, probably because the skirt's too big. And also speaking of the skirt, she can still move her legs because of the soft pliable material this is. It's similar to what Ninja Steel did, but I feel like this is actually more like less restrictive than Ninja Steel, because maybe the same, but I don't know, honestly. Gosh, something doesn't feel right. She comes with the Beast X blaster, which is literally the camera gun, and this actually has the cameras. It just has basic paint. It doesn't have the yellow in the front. So this just slots into the front, but overall it's really nice for her to actually get the same amount of articulation as the guys, because equality and such. So there she goes with that side panel. And I forgot about her Morphex key. So here's her Morphex key. Obviously it's supposed to be a jackrabbit. It took me a while to actually find it. It's her track. Now people were saying like the track on here was supposed to be yellows, but obviously it's orange and it's a different pin, so that's obviously debunked. I think putting the Morphex key on yellow is actually easier because of the fact her arms are a bit thinner, so it doesn't grip to her as tightly. I still would recommend just pushing it down. But hers is number 2. So that's pretty interesting. And then here we have Blaze, obviously Dark Buster. I would say he's probably the most solid figure out of the whole line, just because he's like, just because how decent he looks. Like, he has paint basically everywhere. Obviously, I'm pretty sure these are supposed to be painted, but on the front at least, like, these bolts are like painted and such, and it just looks beautiful. His helmet, I know there's a lot of QC issues with some copies, but overall, like, his helmet looks pretty neat. And then his Morpher or changer, I don't know what this is technically. Technically it's his Morpher, but I don't know. His articulation is basically the same, even with his hindrances, such as he can't go up all the way, but then again these figures can't. But this is pliable, or this is more pliable than like Yellow's skirt. But so he can actually like still raise his arm up. He still has the wrist swivel or the elbow swivel, but then he can only kick forward and back. He can't go off to the side, but he still has the knee swivel. So I find that kind of odd, but you know, more paint, lose this point for some reason. So as he falls, here's his weapon. I don't know the name of it. It's honestly, it's not an exciting weapon, but it's cool he comes with it. And then he comes with his variant of the Cheetah Beast Blaster, which we have not seen. So I'll call this like the Cyber Beast Blaster or something, or the Dark Cheetah Beast Blaster. But that's not really much. But you know, they had to include another accessory for him. And then obviously his Morph X key, which again it's pretty cool. Obviously because he's based off of Red. His is also a cheetah, but I think his is just more cooler because his is actually like, I don't want to say it looks like Sonic, but here's his track. This is 07, or number 7, and to compare the tracks, and it's focusing on the actual figure. Again, it's the same thing as Red. It's the same thing, it's just this one has sparkles. Obviously, this can still peg onto him. Looks pretty neat. So, boys will go off to the side, and we will go on off to our last figure of the lot, or the wave, Tronic. I think he's pretty decent for a foot soldier. Again, just like Blaze, he has a lot of paint that would have been missing. His articulation is pretty hindered. He can only look left or right. He can bob up and down. His arm articulation, I think, is more hindered, just because of, or it's actually not as badly hindered. Again, he just can't spread his legs, but you know. So his two accessories are just his weapons. These things, and they're kind of a pain to like apply, so I'll probably just hopefully I apply them with this. There we go, we got them applied. But I'll just say that they're a pain the first time you try them, but I think once you get a hang of it, they're pretty simple. I think I put on the wrong ones. I don't know, cause like, I don't know, like, literally in the unboxing, this one would normally like turn the other way, but I think because I switched them, so maybe that's why it's actually straight. I think his weapons were pretty neat. It's just his hands are just badly positioned, and his Morph X key, it's pretty interesting. This is number 5, and then his track. And if I could apply it to him, just like that. So that's basically it for the figures. So let's go look at the Beast X Morpher. Okay, so we got our Beast X Morpher ready. I think I may be too zoomed in. And then we got our Morph X keys ready. I'm too close to the camera, so let's start. So obviously, just like how we normally typically insert Morph X keys.
Cheetah Beast Power, red!
As you can tell, this is basically the same sounds, but I'll still do it.
Let's go for a spin, Cruz! Cheetah Beast Power, red!
And obviously we can morph.
Are you ready? Say it's morphin' time! Say it's morphin' time!
I don't know. Say something. Oh, so we can do the same stuff.
Unleash the beasts! Virus eliminated.
And that's basically it for this key. So let's actually move on to another actual new key. Blue.
Blue Ranger power! Don't worry, Smash, I got this. Blue Ranger power! Rangers, it's go time! Let's go! Unleash the beasts! Blue Ranger power!
So as you can see, like basically, I think I stated it before, but if I didn't, basically what the Morphex key does is it basically replaces its morphin time phrase with two phrases that come from the key. So, yeah. Obviously, all of this is basically the same, and if we morph...
Are you ready? Say it's morphin' time!
Gorilla mode, activate! And if we...
Unleash the beasts!
So, yeah. It's just weird that, like, how this thing reacts, because everything you do makes the motion sensor react. So here, we got yellow, which is too blinding for the eye.
Jackrabbit Beast Power, yellow. You messed with the wrong ranger. Jackrabbit Beast Power, yellow.
Rangers, it's go time!
So, yeah.
Are you ready? Say it's morphin' time!
Rabbit and rabbit! And obviously you can cheat it like this.
Unleash the beasts!
I just find it weird when you sometimes try to press the button, it will just it will just do the motion sound, so. Anyways. Like, obviously, if you can tell, right, it's not the actual actors, which I guess kind of sucks, but then again, like, oh well, some characters it's really off for, but, well, I guess Yokai Watch had the advantage because of the fact they're voice actors, these are not actors, so.
I'm not a real human, I'm much better. I'm the better Red Ranger. I'm not a real human, I'm much better. Not today, Rangers! I'm the better Red Ranger. The Morphex is mine!
Obviously the same stuff.
Are you ready? Say it's morphin' time!
Why am I evil?
Not today, Rangers! Victory is mine, Rangers!
Jeez. Whoops. Jeez, what did I... Gosh. I'm sorry that startled anyone. That clearly startled me. Anyways, let's get to... Just get over our last key. I don't think that read. Oh my gosh, this reader.
Mine! The Morphex is mine!
Randomism. Obviously, if you can tell, the Tronic, obviously the Tronics don't talk, so it's just Blaze saying, Tron! Tronics, attack! So it's just the same stuff.
Are you ready? Say it's morphin' time!
What?
Not today, Rangers!
That's basically it for this whole first wave of figures. Watch this thing shut down while I get set up. So basically overall, what I think about the figures is that they're obviously a huge step up towards what Bandai America gave us, because while, like, I thought the Ninja Steel one was alright, it was literally up to a point where it literally just, like, you can tell they clearly just stopped caring. And it kind of sucks, especially with the fact... There it goes. Especially with the fact that they just stopped caring for the female figures just because they thought that they weren't going to sell. Because they made them not sell. So, yeah. But I like these figures. It's just that I find it to be a really annoying way, especially with me who isn't really as familiar with Go Busters, for this to be the way of getting the Morph X keys. Because I don't want to, because, you know, obviously I want to be cheap and such, but I don't want to, like, have to get figures of characters I'm unfamiliar with, and, like, you know, it's just kind of like, buying certain things you don't, like, it's like buying the buckles just for the gimmicks. That's how I feel about these figures. It's like, oh, I have to buy these figures just to get the Morphex keys. But then again, if you're a big fan of Go Busters, heck yeah, these are cool. But, like, I'm pretty sure, like, obviously whenever I get to Go Busters, I'm gonna like the series, because I always like every series I watch. So, obviously I'll end up liking these, but it's just that, you know, I don't have the familiarity with the series, so I felt like I just kind of, like, bought these just because I wanted the Morphex keys. But, I don't know what else will be coming out of the line, because I feel like the next waves will be shorter, because technically what's wave 2 is just Roxy and Jax. Wave 3, which is the full wave, we can assume it's Gold, Silver, and Fury mode of Red Ranger. But, so I feel like it's not going to be as huge as this, because I feel like it might mostly be restocks. But I'll just say, these figures are pretty good. It just sucks there's no risk movement, and yeah, I guess it sucks for the villains that you don't have the splits. They can't do the splits, but their paint job is amazing. I think that's just a huge takeaway from this, or from Hasbro's attempt at Power Ranger figures. They have better proportions, arguably, and they're better painted. So yeah, that's basically it for this review. This is PowerRider, and I'll leave people. Bye.